Hi INFJs and autistic INFJs. Have you ever found yourself wondering, why am I like this? Why can't I just fit into society? It's almost like an INFJ was created to be their own worst enemy. That's how it feels sometimes, isn't it? As an INFJ, it can really feel like the world is designed for everyone else. No matter how hard we try, we just cannot fit in to society's box that they created, that they put everybody into. It's just much too small for us and it's too squishy and we just don't like being in it. But what if I told you that you're actually not even supposed to fit into that box? Actually, the box that society uses is like my pet peeve. I say burn it. What if your frustration is actually pointing you towards your greatest strength? Something to think about, isn't it? Today we are diving into why INFJs feel this way and why it's not just okay, but necessary to step out of that box, to burn that box, and embrace who you truly are. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad you found it. My name's Trina. I'm an INFJ and I'm also autistic. I created this channel with hopes of helping people like myself feel seen, heard, and understood. I also help INFJs and autistic INFJs heal their self-love through classes, community, and coaching. So welcome to my channel. I hope you find it helpful. If you're returning, I'm glad that you came back. I'm grateful for you all. Sometimes I lose my words, but that's okay. We work with it. Before we get going, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and like this video. I would appreciate the support. Okay, one more thing. I opened up another day for the INFJ meet and greet. My first one I was running in January sold out, and I had a few of you reaching out and asking when I was going to run another one. So I opened up another date for January. So if you want to connect with other INFJs, get to know them, feel comfortable in a social situation. It's a virtual, very casual hour to an hour and a half. We meet and we just have fun. It's laid back, relaxed. We just have fun and talk about INFJ things. If you want more information, the link is in the description of this video. Okay, let's get into this. The battle between authenticity and belonging. We have like an inner battle going on with this. Society makes us prioritize fitting in over being our true self, right? If we don't fit in, we feel very perceived, like we're being judged all the time. This was me. And oh man, I would hide because I knew that I couldn't fit in. And it was just such an inner turmoil inside because I just couldn't do it. Because we are naturally wired to have this deep need for authenticity. It just comes natural. We can't help it. This is who we are. We have that deep need for trueness, right? For people being true to who they are. We can't stand fake people. So when we see it in ourselves, it causes issues. We find this a very painful way to live when we're forced to be someone we're not, because it makes us feel fake and disconnected when we try to conform, right? And I know for me, I don't know about you, but fake people drive me nuts. They're like my pet peeve, and I don't want to be that fake person. So when I feel that I have to be fake, it causes so much inner turmoil in me, and I start questioning, why am I this way? Why do I have to feel so bad about myself just to be accepted in society? That was what was always going on inside of me. Next, the INFJ unique gift of dual vision. This is really interesting, and it is such a strength. So we see both societal expectations and our inner truth very clearly. I'll repeat that because I jumbled my words again. Words are very hard for me today. So we see both societal expectations and our internal truth very clearly. It's crystal clear. We can see it. It's there. This dual vision can feel like a curse, and it really can, because we are always aware of how we don't fit in, right? And we'll start beating ourselves up about it. I know I used to all the time, right from as far back as I can remember. I've shared this story a few times. I would have been it was my early years of school. So in the school that I was in, it only went to grade 3. So it was from kindergarten to grade 3. It was somewhere in that window. I remember going to the bathroom and looking in the mirror and getting so mad at myself. My fists would be like white, looking in the mirror and telling myself to stop being myself. I'm so stupid, because I hated who I was. And that's where it came from, was the fact that I knew that I didn't fit in, but I knew what I had to do to fit in. But then it caused this inner turmoil inside of me. And when I was a little INFJ, I could not understand this, because even as an adult, it's hard to understand, right? However, this dual vision is a profound gift. And here is why. It gives us the ability to question and redefine those expectations. That is amazing. So an example of this is, say we're at a family gathering, or we're with a bunch of friends, and we're taking time to just catch up, right? We want to catch up, lay back, have fun, whatever it may be. Everyone seems happy. They're laughing and joking around and, having a good time. Sorry, I've got a frog. This cold is still going on. Anyway, back to my story. So everyone's having this great time, right? Laughing, joking, having fun. However, we sense that something is off with person over there. Whether it be, maybe it's your cousin, maybe it's a friend, whoever it is, right? It's just going to be person over there. We sense that something is off. They're hiding their sadness. They're putting on the happy face. They're smiling. They're joking around. But we know there is definitely something off with them. This dual vision allows us to see both what's being said and what isn't being said. I remember doing this. An example of this was at work. A place I worked, there was a coworker that I worked with that would put on the happy face and, be jolly, and it's going to be a great day. I knew deep down she was having massive issues and was very unhappy. And I was correct, because one day she came and sat and talked to me. I was correct about it, right? The emotions and dynamics that other people miss, we can pick up on that so quickly. So instead of going along with the conversations, those surface level conversations and pretending to be all happy and stuff, we have the ability to steer it into something more meaningful, helping others feel seen and understood. So we're going to help that person over there feel seen and understood. Do you know what a gift that is? There are not a whole lot of people in this world that can make somebody feel seen and understood naturally. It just comes naturally for us. This is a gift of being able to create profound moments of connection. Where others might accept the box as those shallow interactions, we define it by bringing depth, authenticity to the room. That's huge. Something that most people didn't even know they needed until we give it to them. So that is super cool. I think that is a gift, and I love leaning into it now that I understand how it works and that I can do that for other people, because that makes me feel amazing. That fills up my cup when I can make somebody else feel seen, understood, because I know what it feels like to not be. The next thing that I want to talk about is reframing it. So I'm going to give you an idea to help you change your thoughts about yourself. Okay? INFJs, we are not here to just fit in. We are here to transform that box entirely. Society needs us. They need us to question, to innovate, to create change. That is why we are here. That's why we were given these gifts. And instead of fighting them, leaning into them and using them to create an amazing environment around you. So lean into that uniqueness instead of fighting it. Start small. I know this can be scary, especially if there was parts of you that you were hiding because you needed to fit in. So this can feel really scary, but start small by allowing one aspect of yourself that you've been hiding, because that aspect when you were little and you didn't understand was one that made you feel like you were pushed away, that you were the misfit, the black sheep in the family or in the classroom or whatever it may be. Allow that aspect to show even if it's scary. So an example of this is we will often see, I want to give you an example of what I mean by this, of letting one aspect show. Sorry, I was sort of thinking out loud, and I remember that when I do that, not everybody can follow with what I'm saying because they can't hear the thoughts that I'm having. So anyway, an example of this, of starting small, letting one aspect show, is many of us have a hard time sharing our ideas, especially in the workforce. So let's say we're at work and we're in a meeting and there's an issue going on, whatever it may be, whatever is related to your scope of work. And you have ideas on how to solve this. And you know your ideas are going to work because you've put patterns together and from past experience and whatever else. And you're pretty sure that your idea is a great one. It's going to work. But you keep it to yourself. We don't share it. This was me. We stay very quiet. And we don't share it because at one time or quite a few times in the past, we've been judged or blown off because we've shared, but people haven't taken us serious. I'm going to explain why in just a second as well. So instead of keeping it to yourself, share. Now I said I'm going to explain why people tend to blow us off or not take us serious. We are an intuitive personality type. We use our introverted intuition, which is so darn fascinating, and I could talk about that till the cows come home. In a nutshell, in its basic form, introverted intuition is pattern recognition. So our brain, back up for 1 second, it's pattern recognition. So we are constantly taking in information around us. We're taking in the sensory information, we're taking in emotions, everything. We are just taking it all in, and our brain will store this information. We don't even know it's doing it. Our introverted intuition will come and start sifting through all this stuff in our brain, and it starts putting pieces of the puzzle together, patterns, connecting dots, right? This is when it connects the dots, this is when we get that aha moment that we know something, but we don't know how we know. You know what I mean? So at work, we've got this idea. We don't know how we got this idea, but we know this idea is going to work. So we've shared it. And right away, if you're working with a bunch of sensors, they need concrete. We're abstract. So they're going to say, well, how did you come to this conclusion? And most likely, as an intuitive, we don't realize that, especially if we don't understand how our introverted intuition works. So we'll say, well, I don't know. It's just a hunch. If you're working with sensors, if you're in an office setting, I can't completely guarantee, but there is a good chance that there are a lot of sensors in there, and they're wonderful people. Don't get me wrong. I love them. But when we say we've got a hunch, they're going to dismiss you and blow you off and not take you serious because that is definitely not concrete. Now, here's the thing. If we allow ourselves time to think about it, it will come to us. We will see all the breadcrumbs. We will see the pattern. We will be able to connect the dots so that we can explain it in a more concrete way. So back to what I was talking about. That was a little off topic, but I just wanted to explain how that works and why we get blown off or we don't get taken serious, because oftentimes this is where it comes from. So I think that's a real good tool to put into your toolbox. Allow yourself time to think about it. So even if you're in a meeting and you have this idea and you're like, okay, you know what? I watched that video on YouTube and that crazy woman, Trina, told me I need to share this. If it feels scary at the moment and you're not 100% sure how you got this answer, what I want you to do is to pipe up, raise your hand, whatever it is, however you guys work it in your meeting, and say, can I have just a little bit of time to think about this? And then I will come back to you with an answer. They're going to love that. They're going to say, yes, of course, because now they know that you're engaged and you're not just off in la la land. That's what everyone thought I was at, but I was actually soaking everything up around me. So then you head back to your office cubicle, whatever it may be, go back to whatever you're doing, give yourself time to think. You can even start a new task, whatever it may be, and all of a sudden you're going to get that aha, that, oh, I know how I got to this. I know how I got to this answer. And then write it down. Giving yourself those extra few minutes to write it down. You can write down how you're going to deliver this. It gives us a little bit of courage That's the word I'm looking for. Courage behind it, because it can be very scary, especially if you were like me and you always kept quiet, never shared any of your stuff. Letting or allowing those little aspects of yourself that got you judged years ago are very scary at first. Allowing yourself time to just gather your thoughts, maybe even make a small little quick outline on how you're going to deliver it will give you the courage to go back and do it, so that when you go back and deliver it, you have it on a more concrete level. So it's not quite as abstract, so other personality types can follow along with us and they're not going to blow you off. That's my little tip for today. I hope this was helpful for you. You weren't made, remember, you weren't made to fit into this box the world puts us in. In fact, just burn the box. Just burn it. I've burnt all my boxes, and if I find myself in another one, I kick it open and I burn it really quickly. You were made to redefine it. So start small. One piece of your true self, allow it to shine. Just work on one. If it takes 6 months working on that one, so be it. Be it, but you're working on it, so you're moving forward, and that's all that matters. Once we do this and we let it shine, watch how not only it frees you, but it's going to inspire others to do the same. And that's really cool when that happens. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found it valuable. Again, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to my channel. And again, if you're interested in the INFJ casual virtual meet and greet, meet other INFJs, go to the link in the description of this video and find out more. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye for now.